in this video, and I still don't even know what to title it. I don't know if it should be Shocks of Visiting Buenos Aires, Argentina, or Things No One Told Me Before Coming. I'm gonna figure it out, but the point is, prior to coming, I didn't know much about the place. And I must admit, speaking with other travelers, retirees, expats, and some people who've been to many countries around the world, Argentina was a country that was rarely spoken about. And this is a great segue into the video. I would say that from my experience here so far, I don't really think this place is popular with many travelers from the US. Now, obviously, not every country can be a hotspot destination, but the thing that surprised me was that Buenos Aires, from some of the sources that I read, was one of the, if not the top visited countries in South America. So I assume there would be more people from up north coming down here. This may be a regional thing, because when I was in Brazil, which is a beautiful country, and I was in the 3 most touristy destinations there, Salvador, Rio, Sao Paulo, no particular order. But even in those places, I didn't get the feel that Brazil was on many people's radar. Even Peru, with Machu Picchu, and then I was in Lima with the delicious food. Granted, I went there during a time where, all the restrictions and that stuff going on. However, when I was on a few tours, some of the people told me, oh, you're the first American I've met, or you're the first American that I've had on this tour. So I would have to assume that most people from the US usually stop at Ecuador. I would say the countries in Latin America that are the most popular would be Ecuador, Panama, Costa Rica, obviously Mexico, then you have the Caribbean places. If you're from the US, anything south of Ecuador, it's going to be an adventure for you. And last but not least, I'm going to finish off this point by saying that after thinking about it and trying to put the pieces together, it all makes sense, because if you have a regular job, you probably only get maybe 2-3 week vacation during the year. And because of that, you're most likely going to stick with the reputable, popular tourist destinations. Cancun, Montego Bay, Jamaica, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, Panama, etc. Because if you try to get fancy and go off the beaten path, and it's a disaster, you probably have to wait a whole nother year to take a vacation. This next point on the list, I think a lot of you guys are going to be surprised by this one. When I was in the Dominican Republic and I was doing a video, I was living in Santo Domingo, which is the capital, and I came across a fair amount of people who spoke English, some pretty good English. And so I was curious. I was looking online about countries in Latin America with the most English speakers, or Latin American countries that just have a high proficiency in English. Many of the sources differed with their ranking, but many of the sites had Argentina as, if not number 1, usually like in the top 3. And I was thinking to myself, Argentina, really? I mean, they're like South America. I just didn't believe it. So I was like, okay, next website, next source. But after being here for a few weeks and interacting with some of the people, I will say out of all the Spanish-speaking countries that I've been to, I've came across the most English speakers in Argentina. Don't let the videos fool you, because a lot of times off camera, I'll speak to some of them, just a quick chat, and their English is pretty good. But then, as some of you guys know, especially if you're a content creator, once a camera's in your face, it's a little different. You're a little shy. You might stutter a little bit. You don't want to say the wrong thing. So a lot of the people that are in my videos, their English may not be the best, but off camera, it's pretty good. The next thing I wish I knew about before visiting is the siestas. If you don't know what that is, it's basically where there's a break taken in the middle of the day. For example, a restaurant will close their doors around 3 p.m. and then they won't open back up till around 6 or 7. Here's the thing. Buenos Aires is huge. So does the whole city shut down at 3? No. But what usually happens is that the places that you need to go to usually will be closed at 3. So your favorite restaurants, if you need some type of service done and it's an emergency, chances are wherever that place is, they're going to be closed at 3. It just happens. Now, here's another thing that I wish someone would have warned me about, or not warned me, but told me about before visiting. And that's the fact that this city things start later. Someone posted a comment on one of my YouTube videos, and they pretty much broke it down saying that people usually have dinner between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. And because of that, clubs, shows, theatricals usually start later as well. So maybe around 11, midnight. The clubs usually start jumping around 2 a.m. in the morning, and they don't close until what, like 6, 7-ish. For some people, you'll love this, especially the night owls, people who get up late and they usually stay up until the morning partying, drinking. Oh yeah, this place is for you. However, if you're not like that, you're definitely gonna have to make two adjustments. One, to the time zone here, if you're coming from a different part of the world. And then two, when it comes to activities, you want to go see a show, starts at midnight. If you meet some local folks, you want to eat dinner with them and fellowship, you're going to have to wait till 9:30 p.m. You want to go to the club, you don't start putting on your shoes until 1:30 a.m. So I think you guys get the point. Things here start a little later than I would say what maybe most people are used to. The next one on the list, and this is one that it sort of hurts me because I took classes on this and they have no practical use here, at least in my opinion. Here's what I mean. Argentina is a Spanish-speaking country. You have the Latin vibe. They're in South America. So you would think salsa would be something that's very popular here. Now, I'm not saying it's not. Well, I kind of am. What I'm saying is from my experience so far, I don't think salsa or bachata is the preferred dance of choice. But if I had to guess, I would say one is tango, although I think it's more popular with the older crowd. Reggaeton, cumbia, and electronic music. I'm going to say it again. Tango, reggaeton, cumbia, and electronic music. And I say that because usually when I'm in a Latin country, I'm in a grocery store, maybe I'm in a vehicle, I usually hear, salsa on the radio, bachata blaring from speakers, walking through neighborhoods. I haven't heard any of that yet. But again, I've been in select areas, select neighborhoods so far right now. Also, I'm not a super night owl, so I know they have salsa clubs and stuff like that. But if I had to guess, I don't think salsa, which is life in some other Latin countries, I don't think it's really viewed the same here in Argentina. But hey, let me know. I could be wrong. We're almost done with the video. Got two more on the list. The first one is when you walk into a bathroom here, and let me just say it's very interesting. One of the things I love about traveling is seeing how different the US is. It's like we do things completely opposite of many other countries. For example, we use miles per hour. Other countries use kilometers per hour. We say, hey, I'm 6 feet tall. Other countries say I'm 1.8 meters or whatever. And another thing that's interesting is usually when you walk into a bathroom in the US, there's going to be one toilet. Here in Argentina, there's two. The second one, I think it's called I was looking this up online, and at first I was like, oh, bite it. But I was thinking, nah, that's too easy. That's not how you pronounce it. I think it's bidet or bidet, something like that. The bidet is similar to what, or the same as, you've probably seen this in Japan. They have those toilets where you sit down and it sprays water to your private parts to clean it up. That's what this is for. So you use the regular toilet, and then you walk over here, sit down, and it'll spray water to clean up the area. Not very common in the US, but in many other countries, especially certain parts of Europe, I know Japan uses this. They have like some high-tech one. I heard it's also popular in Uruguay. So just something to keep in mind. And last but not least, for all the fellas out there listening, I'm just going to quickly touch over the women. I will say that they're very attractive. And one thing that stands out to me is the fact that it's not the brown eyes, not the blue eyes, rather the green eyes. Also, I think they face the same situation that Ecuadorian women go through. And here's what I mean. I spent some time in Ecuador, disclaimer, mainly along the coast. So I was in Esmeraldas, Guayaquil. Then I went to like a small city. It's like Puerto Viejo or something like that. But mainly what I'm trying to say is I stayed on the coastline. I didn't go into the interior. And I personally thought that the Ecuadorian women that I saw were more attractive than people give them credit for. And I think one main reason is because Colombia is right next door. And you guys may know that that's a popular country when you think of South American women. When it comes to Argentina, they have Brazil next door. And you guys know Brazil is also known for its women as well. I mean, just in general, when you think of, women in South America, usually Colombia, Brazil, and then like Venezuela. However, for sure, Argentinian women are, they're nice. All that being said, these are just a few things that no one told me before visiting. But hopefully after watching this video and you plan on visiting, some of these things may have helped you out so that when you come, you're not, off guard and all this stuff isn't new to you. But with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have found some value in the video, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Deuces.